To KZN now, where a severe thunderstorm accompanied by strong winds and hail has left a trail of destruction in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands, with at least 3 municipalities hardest hit. Over 150 households have been affected and about 50 houses have been completely damaged. 3 people sustained injuries. The worst affected local municipalities include eMadlangeni, Dannhauser and Newcastle. SABC News reporter Simphiwe Makhanya joins us now for more. So Simphiwe, we can imagine some of those families right now utter devastation as they try to pick up the pieces of their lives.
Absolutely, Mxolisi. In fact, the province of KwaZulu-Natal has been experiencing inclement weather conditions for the past few weeks. Of course, leading up to Christmas, you remember that incident which left 3 people dead after the car they were traveling in was swept away in a low-lying river in Amanzimtoti, which is south of the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The 2 bodies were recovered, but of course, we are told that that 1 body is still missing, and search and rescue teams are still on the ground trying to locate that particular person that is still missing. And of course, this morning we woke up to those sad news indeed of a terrible storm which wreaked havoc in a number of areas in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, leaving a trail of destructions with many people being forced to find alternative shelter as a result of the damage that has been experienced in their properties. But allow me now, Mxolisi, to get a sense of just how severe the situation is on the ground as I welcome Mr. Senzelwe Mzila, who speaks for the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Mzila, thank you so much for your time this morning. Not a good morning indeed for a number of families in KwaZulu-Natal. Paint a picture for us. How bad is the situation on the ground?
Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers. The province of KZN is once more responding to a number of incidents that have occurred, specifically in northern KZN. We've got a number of municipalities that have been affected yesterday by a severe storm that brought hail, strong winds, and it also brought severe rains, which caused widespread damage. As we speak right now, we've got teams on the ground. There's been damage to public infrastructure. Private homes have been damaged. From our preliminary assessments so far, we have over 50 houses that have been completely destroyed, and we have over 100 households that have been affected within these areas. Now, these areas are the areas of Dundee, the areas of Newcastle, and the most affected area, it's the area of Utrecht, together with the area of Dannhauser.
The public properties that you are referring to, Mr. Mzila, I would presume, I just got a message a short while ago that hospitals have also been affected. Can you give us a sense of how bad the situation is there?
Well, we've got our teams that are on the ground right now conducting assessments. When we mention public facilities, there are some hospital clinics that have been affected. Also, we've got a KZN transport facility, a licensing center that has been damaged. We've got our teams physically there right now, and they are doing all the assessments. We also have a number of departments whose offices have been damaged within these areas. We do have our teams on the ground who are ensuring that we do provide swift assistance to the affected families.
Just in terms of clarity again, how many people have been affected by this, of course, Mr. Mzila, and also in terms of the injuries?
Well, from yesterday's storm, we had 3 people who were injured during the storm. They were taken to hospital and are receiving treatment. In terms of the preliminary assessments, we have over 100 households that have been affected. We do expect this number to increase once our teams give us their final report. But these teams are on the ground right now, and we really do feel for the families that have been affected by these inclement weather conditions.
As I did my introduction, I did make mention of the fact that KwaZulu-Natal has been experiencing this inclement weather conditions for quite some time now, resulting, of course, in this trail of destruction that we have been seeing. As COGTA in KwaZulu-Natal, are your teams able to deal with this particular scale of destruction that we are seeing? Just a couple of weeks ago, we saw that unfortunate collapse of that temple in just north of KwaZulu, or north of Durban. Your teams were also on the ground, even during that particular, a chaotic time.
Well, one of the key things that the MEC for COGTA, Reverend Thulasizwe Thelezisa Buthelezi did when he assumed office, it was to have an MOU with various social partners across the province. Now, these very same social partners have been lending a helping hand to a lot of some of these disasters. They've played a very critical role in ensuring that the capacity of the province is widespread. As we speak right now, we've got teams in various parts of the province, and this is through the MEC's willingness to work together with stakeholders, pulling together resources so that our communities can benefit through a better aligned system of response.
Of course, the weather is still inclement in KwaZulu-Natal. Where we are, it's drizzling a bit. In terms of the forecast, what can the people of KwaZulu-Natal expect going forward?
Well, today we've received a weather warning, a level 2 weather warning for severe thunderstorms. This is for the areas that are in the north of the province. Also, there are some areas in the western parts of the province within the interior, of course. So our teams are on high alert across all of these districts through the Provincial Disaster Management Center, and we are keeping a close eye. We are also concerned about the number of rivers that are starting to overflow. We've got the Utuela River that we are concerned about. Also, a number of rivers within Dandi we are concerned about, and the MEC for Kokta has made a call for parents to ensure that children do not go to large bodies of water that are unguarded. Let's make sure that our children utilize places that are designated for swimming.
The people whose homes have been destroyed, Mr. Mzila, what sort of assistance are you going to be providing for them, or what sort of assistance do they require?
Well, the department, or should I say the MEC, has directed our Provincial Disaster Management Center to roll out relief. This relief comes in twofold. There's interim relief that is being given to the families right now in terms of the relief that they can use to try and piece together their lives. There's also interim relief that is going to be provided through line function departments. We are liaising right now with the Department of Human Settlements and other line function departments to ensure that this relief is brought on board as quickly as possible. We have also set up soup kitchens as well for the communities that have been affected, and we really are aiming to ensure that we can, as quickly as possible, provide them with this relief as they try to piece together their lives after these tragic storms.
What is your message to people who have built homes near riverbanks? Of course, the rain is still continuing in some parts of the province. During this time, what is Kokta saying to those people?
Well, the department is very concerned about this, and I think part of our concern is that houses that are built on riverbanks or in low-lying areas, they are the first places that are going to be swept away should there be flooding. Our message to residents is that they must ensure that they don't build in such areas. If you reside or have built in such areas, we've got our community halls, we've got public infrastructure that is available through the ward councillors that we urge communities to utilize. We're also working with Amakosi to ensure that going forward, no one is placed in such areas, because this does place their lives at risk. And we are calling as well upon communities to follow the instructions from authorities and municipalities when they instruct them not to build in certain areas.
A number of people, Mr. Mzila, will be traveling to different parts of the province and others outside of the province, even during this inclement weather condition as well, which I suppose is another dangerous aspect when you look at the number of fatalities that we have been recording in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
Well, the province of KZN is safe. We've got a number of disaster plans that are in place. We are working together with various stakeholders such as Sanral, various stakeholders, including ESCOM, all of our municipalities. Our teams are on the ground. We're working together with RTI. We're working together with line function departments to ensure that our communities are safe. So we do appeal to communities to ensure that they drive with caution as there is rain right now, but also for them to follow instructions that they receive from the various disaster officials that are on the ground.
That one person who's still missing from the incident which happened in Amanzimtoti, what updates can you give us?
Well, our teams are continuing with the search. We know that there was that tragic incident where 5 people were in the car. 2 people managed to escape, 3 got swept away in Amanzimtoti. 2 bodies were recovered by our teams working together with the community. 1 person is still missing. The MEC for Kokta has expressed his condolences to these affected families, and these teams will not rest up until we find a way to recover the 1 person that is still missing. So the same commitment that we showed when there was an incident that occurred in Umshwati, that's the same commitment that we are showing as KZN and Kokta in terms of doing our best to ensure that we do recover this 1 body that is missing.
The issue of money, Mr. Mzila, is always a thorny one when you look at the disasters that the province has been experiencing. You make mention of the fact that some hospitals have been left, destroyed as a result of the storm today. What can you tell us about the finances or the financial impact of these inclement weather conditions that we have been experiencing as the province?
Well, just for context, Simphiwe, last year the province suffered over 3 billion rands worth of damage to public infrastructure. Now, the amount of money that we spend on infrastructure as a province, here I'm talking about municipalities, it's about 3.6 billion rand a year. So we've got a challenge whereby our developmental agenda is at times impeded by these disasters that continue to occur as a result of climate change. Right now, our teams are conducting assessments. Once these assessments are done, the MEC for COGTA will then be able to make a decision in terms of the interventions that are required. As you've seen this year, we do receive support from the National Disaster Management Center that has been able to provide relief in terms of funding for areas that have been damaged. So there will be a process that is undertaken through the MEC and through the various line function departments, and we will have a clearer picture as time progresses.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, sir.
That is Mr. Senzelwe Mzila, who speaks on behalf of the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in KwaZulu-Natal, giving us an update in terms of the interventions that disaster teams are making on the ground, of course, to try and assist those that have been affected, by the inclement weather conditions in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.